Boy, oh boy, 5, 4, 3, 2. Where's the button for my other people at? Yo, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? We're live. We are here. What's good? It is episode 71 of Should I Play That? It's your boy, aka SSJ Blackrod, aka the Great One, aka Mr. Muckluck, aka I'm out of AKAs. We're here for another episode of gaming and other stuff. We're here. We got I just go with it. I just go with like what's off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but James.
It's beautiful.
Mr.
It's beautiful.
Mr. James to the Green. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, Mr. Muckluck. How goes it, bro?
Oh man, another day, another week. I'm good. Like as much as I've put on my plate over the past couple weeks, I feel great. I feel alive. It's weird. Even though progressively the country is going to shit, progressively we're seeing coronaviruses go up. We're seeing more. I'm seeing more people actually wearing masks in public. So good on you people.
Oh, wow.
Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your motherfucking mask. And I don't know. Just the whole the Jada Pinkett Smith and August thing, just complete like left curveball that like I think things like that, and this is a quick side note, I think things like that are like trying to distract us from like what's really going on with Black Lives Matter, the coronavirus cases, like just important shit. Guys, don't get distracted.
I thought that was already a thing. You not did that a couple years ago?
What do you mean?
The August Alsina Jada Pinkett thing. It's
apparently a thing again, and people were like in shock, like Pikachu meme, like had no idea what was going on. So I don't know. That's the thing, but that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about some video games. We also got Rod in the building. Rod, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm also here, and I'm pretty good. Every time you intro things, it's very good. It energizes everything.
Thank you.
I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I'm genuinely, seriously.
I mean, I'd hope not. Damn, that'll hurt. But it's good, man. How's life for you? How's life going?
It has been a very busy week. Anytime that we have a short week, my day job, I have this Friday off. Anytime that happens, everyone gets inundated, just smothered, completely drowning in work. So just kind of going through that, but hey, this is always a highlight of the week, to turn it all around and finish the week strong.
It is like I legit could have like zero energy going into this, and then all of a sudden that live button blinks on. I see that countdown. And all of a sudden I forget. Sometimes, it's funny, sometimes I even have like, oh, I'm gonna say this in my intro, and I still like fuck up and like completely go off rails, but it's still it works. It just happens. But yeah, that's where we at. I do want to something I know I wanted to make note of and wanted to say on the show. Shout out to our mod Subject T. Like, she has been really like helping out over the past like couple months. Like, just comes through in the clutch. Especially for me the last couple of weeks. I've been I launched a new podcast. That's unfortunate. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I have it linked everywhere. So that's unfortunate. We talk about the unfortunate stuff in society that people don't want to talk about. The cringe, well, sometimes the cringy stuff, but just we talk on why we believe Black Lives Matter, why we believe trans lives matter, because that's the thing too. People seem to forget. People seem to get angry when people say Black trans lives. They're like, no, we're supposed to be talking about Black lives. It's just, no, can we just like still like we get mad at white people for doing that. Let's not do the same ourselves. Let's just like let's share the wealth, show the love. That's what we're here for. But yeah, check it out. I also want to quick shout out Henny Haters Club. I was on their podcast this past week. The episode just dropped today. Nice. So check that out. Okay. Henny Haters Club. I'll drop a link sometime pretty soon. I need to find the link. I thought I had it up, but I didn't. But I had a good time. Clear warning. That show, we talk about like whatever on our minds, and there's no filter. So please don't blast it at work, please don't have your children around while listening to it. Please have headphones in. If you don't do that stuff, that's on you at this point. That's all on you.
I personally like to blast the Henny Haters Club around children all the time. I mean, that's just perfect to me.
This episode in particular, it goes like they could listen to like, maybe they shouldn't be listening to a whole. Where are they? I got to make sure they're not in the room type of listening. So, but it's all good. It's all fun. Great stuff. And then I don't know. I feel like we just have a lot of things planned up. I'll be on other shows pretty soon. And I'll have like other people have wanted to be on this show. Other people want to be on the other show. So there's a lot of cross promotion that's going around in the next couple of weeks. Definitely stay tuned for all of that. I am excited. I love having guests on. So let's go ahead and jump into our normal show. But before we even do that, I'm sorry, another announcement. Please, guys, wherever you're listening to us, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please 5-star rating, like us, share us. If we say something funny, clip us and then share it. That'll be dope. But all that stuff helps spread the word, helps us, beat the algorithm. And that's what we're gonna do. So what we like doing at the beginning of the show is talk about what we've been playing over the past week. And for some of us, hasn't been that much. So, spoiler alert. But let's go ahead and jump into it. James.
Yeah.
What you been playing, man?
I have been making my way through The Last of Us 2. It's getting better. It is still kind of long in the tooth, like I was telling Rod a bit earlier. But I feel like the story they're trying to tell is coming across. I'm not really seeing the issue yet that everybody's still up in arms about. Arms. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm close to the end. Things are wrapping back up to where the halfway mark was for me originally. So I feel like I'll have a bit more for you guys next week. We can get into the real nitty gritty of it.
Oh, shoot.
Besides that, breaks with us.
I was gonna say. So how much of Last of Us 2 have you played since last time we talked?
Honestly, I feel like I've played the same amount I played before.
Yeah, it almost seems like you're like on the other side of that game, like on the other side at this point. Like you probably played the equivalent, judging by what you were telling me earlier.
Like if you think about it, like a 3-act play, Act 2 is Act 1 from a different perspective. At the end of Act 2, which is still pretty much Act 1. So
okay, interesting.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see how it all ties together because things are starting to fall into place. So it's looking good. But in order to give like some fresh air from the ever depressing element that is The Last of Us, Arms dropped Min Min this week off on Smash. So I got to check her out, and she plays completely different than any character I've played before, which seems to be the theme with these DLC characters. So typically a Smash Bros character works and you have your A attacks, which are your normal attacks, as it were, your kicks, your punches, headbutts, that sort of thing. And then your B attacks are reserved for your special moves. So like if you think Street Fighter, Hadouken, or a laser blast, or whatever like sets your character and makes it unique, fire breath, that sort of thing. Min Min, on the other hand, she just uses her arms for the most part. So A is left arm and B is right arm. I believe that's how that goes. Hold on, look at it. Opposite. Yeah, A is right, B is left. And so like her down special, instead of being a punch, she changes her arm out. But so now you can do crazy things like smash attacks in the air, which is weird, or being able to kind of strafe back and forth while punching or jabbing, and even be able to punch one direction and then punch behind you in a completely different direction and covers so much space. So Min Min's, she's fun, she's strong, but she has a lot of weaknesses, and I feel like once people want to really get around those, it's gonna expose her a bit more. I think once you get past the first like month or so of dealing with Min Min, I think she'll find her way into the meta and
Because I
settle
mean,
down a bit more.
they talked about it in her reveal trailer that she's a ranged or mid range fighter. So I guess once you make yourself like once you get into her like her like past her range, you can start breaking her down.
Right. And that's the thing you got to worry about mainly. I haven't met too many issues online or anything like that, but I feel like a good Fox player, a good Sheik player, those huge rushdown characters are going to be really tough for Min-Mins to handle. But another bit of a breakdown on her. The arms that she switches out, they give you different attack properties and different attack ranges. So her Dragon Fist is the longest attack range, but I think does the least amount of damage. But it also has a laser she can attach to the end of her punches. So if you do a smash attack, it'll reach all the way out and then shoot a laser, which goes like another 5 or 6 feet. So her range on that is ridiculous, like you just saw just there against that Corrin. So it's really good at covering weapons and that sort of thing. Her Chakram is really good for dealing with people on platforms and people that try to jump in on you because it has this upward arc and it's a lot easier to maneuver up and down. And then if you want to go for your knockouts, I forget what the mallet's called. I just like a mace or whatever, but it's good for your KOs. Tons of damage, tons of knockback. It's your good finisher. So yeah, she's a bit of a character, but she's fun.
Okay, so I was gonna say all in all, like she's like it sounds like once you understand how to play with her, she's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
The real question on everyone's mind is, was Min worth sacrificing Twin Tail for?
Oh, he asking a real question. That's what I'm talking about.
Considering we never had a chance to begin with, I'm not gonna call it but I mean, I would have loved to see Twin Tail in this. Hair fighters are always cool. Sentinel, who else uses hair?
Bayonetta,
yeah. So I thought it would have been sweet, but
in all seriousness, it's pretty cool that something I've always admired about Smash, about the fighters, is that like for a lot of them, they take great care to translate the actual properties that they have in their respective franchises, and they like transpose them onto Smash in a way that feels very believable. It feels like you're playing a version of that. I think the Ryu from Street Fighter obviously is a great example of that. You know, it's like you can play him like you would in a Street Fighter game, and he works really, really well in Smash that way. So that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I've seen some nasty things with like Ryu and Ken players. Like a lot of people when I guess when Ultimate came out, people were like, oh yeah, Ryu and Ken, like they're trash. But like no, like once people get the tech down and they realize, hey, it's literally Ryu from Street Fighter 2 with like a couple things from Street Fighter 4 in it. Like it gets pretty nasty, and the tech that this character has is just I want to say it's unfair because he still has like his weaknesses, but like if you get if you get a rhythm on somebody, you're knocking out. You're doing from like 0 to like 70 hit combos.
James, are you playing this like I mean, how are you playing Smash nowadays? It's a couple years old at this point. Like, are you playing online against randoms, or are you playing with friends against AI? Like, how are you playing this?
I'm mainly AI at this point, just because I don't like Smash online. But when I do jump online, I have a good time. Hop into a lobby or something like that. Mainly it's more of a casual thing now. See who pops up. Just kind of.
So we gotta, I'll say, let us know in the comments. Let us know through messages if you want to see us bring back stream nights, like Smash nights. Yeah, like having the Smash lobbies, like that was fun. Like I think we streamed Smash lobbies for like a good 2-3 months on Facebook, and honestly, I need to see how the Facebook community is doing, because like we got some, we definitely had some regulars in there. So see how,
there was several thousand people watching like at one time. At many points, I was in there. I was even in a few times, and I got completely destroyed, but it was still really fun.
Yeah, so we gotta try that out. All right, so that's pretty much what you had this week.
Yeah. All right. But Roddy, what about you, man? What's been going on? What you been playing?
Man, I have not played a lot of games worth talking about, honestly. Like, anything I've played game wise, I've been kind of trudging through Last of Us 2 still, and that's that's been a thing that's I've been doing, um, and and I've been doing a lot of Rocket League actually, and for some reason, randomly, I don't know why at all, but yeah. So, but nothing really worth bringing up here, as we're going to talk about Last of Us probably next week in depth. And Rocket League is Rocket League. You know, at this point, what do you need to know? It's fucking great. So, yeah, I have played though a tabletop RPG, which is pretty cool, and not something I think that we've ever talked about. I think on this show in the past 70 or so episodes, which is neat. So, it's a. Oh, what's that? Oh, I thought somebody said something. My bad. So Blaze in the Dark, that's the name of this game. And it is, if you don't know what a tabletop RPG is, it is exactly what it sounds like. There's no, it's obviously not a video game. It's a thing where you use your imagination as much as possible. You can use like miniatures or like whatever graphics if you're playing through the computer or whatever. But honestly, like you kind of are at the whim of your GM or DM, Dungeon Master, Game Master, whatever they call themselves. As you could tell, I'm an tabletop RPG expert. Not really. So basically what you do in this is I guess I just set the stage, the setting. It's like Dishonored, if you guys have played that. Very steampunkish, takes place in the 19th century where the sun has exploded and there's perpetual night in this area. It's a place called Duskfall, I believe, and it's a really rough city where, like, you are actually playing in a crew of generally your smugglers, thieves, or some assortment of that. But you can play it like honorably, but you don't have to. And the whole point of the game is to like gain notoriety and wealth over your course of playing this game, of which there can be many, many sessions. And this whole city has different regions with different factions, and they have relationships with each other and obviously with your crew. So intersectionally, it all works out. You also and you do pull off heists. The main thing is heist, and the hook, and that's kind of the hook with Dungeons and Dragons. If you ever played, I've only played it a couple of times, so not a super expert, but I do know that there's a lot of build up and ramp, and you have to gather information about things among your people, your allies or whatever. But this Blades in the Dark kind of skews all of that. So while you're not doing a lot of gathering in the moment, you actually get placed right into the action, and you can do these things called flashback. So like similar to like an Ocean's 11 movie or something, where like you go through the whole movie maybe not having seen like the heist. Like they'll maybe explain like certain parts of the heist to you, but you don't really see it until they're actually doing it. And then at the very end they might show you like you as the audience member might be tricked into like thinking, oh my god, how did they do that? And then they go into like a 2-minute montage of showing you how they actually did it in a really slick way. It's like my favorite fucking part of heist movies. I love it every single time. And it's Blades in the Dark is basically like a whole game of that, because you do these flashbacks where you can actually use different equipment and items to like get yourself out of situations. And it's just really super neat. It's probably more complex than what I can accurately explain here, but I thought it was cool to bring up because it's not a video game, but it is a different sort of social experience and a different sort of game than what we usually talk about on here. And I thought it was just, kind of nice because we're playing this actually over Zoom and Roll20. And Roll20, if you don't know, is a site where you can host like your own sort of tabletop RPG experiences. They have like chat, video, and like they have the like die that you can roll digitally. So you can like type in /R, which means like roll, and then like a 2d6. So that means 2 dice with like the 6 sides on it. And so that is really cool. It's really neat to have all that. You have character sheets and everything that fill in, according to what you want. So you can like spec out your character. It's just really cool shit. And I like it a lot.
And like hearing you say all that, like it definitely makes me miss playing D&D. And like me saying that, I'm not like a super like deep D&D player. Like I've played it like a handful of times, but the times I have played it were great times. So, for people that are listening that have heard of, Dungeons and Dragons and like, oh, that nerd game. No, like it's a lot. It's way more than that. Like it's something
Yeah.
that it's honestly something that you have to experience. Like everything that we're saying won't really do it justice until you actually play it with people who actively play it. So like I've heard stories of people playing it with like all new players, and that experience is honestly hit or miss because it really depends on how well your dungeon master really like sets everything up for you.
Right.
Because honestly, you have a bad dungeon master, you have a bad game. To tell you the truth. So
Right.
yeah, like definitely find, and seriously, it's something that I'm pretty sure you can hit up social media, hit up, some of your friends and be like, hey, who like actually plays Dungeons and Dragons? I want to try it out. And just like Rod, just like what you said, with how the world is right now with COVID, playing through Zoom, playing through Discord, like that's the norm now for that. Makes me sad being a friend. And I remember telling you about this earlier, like earlier in the year. We're supposed to do like a D&D Discord, and just like I think production on this I really started to focus on, and then at that point, like Georgia being, fucking stupid, decided to open up super early. So I went straight back to work. And then of course I just put so much on my plate. I really wish I had the time to dedicate a night to do D&D. And you know what? Honestly, you always have time. Damn, I was gonna say that was my quote of the evening, affirmation, but honestly, you always have time to do what you want to do. So like if I really wanted to make time for it, I can make time for it. So that's more or less on me.
Yeah, you make a really good. Actually, you made a lot of good points there. One I want to highlight for sure is the one about like new players and being scared. So like I have never played D&D in my entire life up until late last year, where I had my first experience, and it was fucking great, and not at all like what I thought in my head that it actually was. Like it was super engaging, very creative, social. Like it's so far removed from the stereotypes I feel like get placed upon it that like I was shocked. I was actually stunned that this is like it gets the social like mainstream cred that it does. Although now it is more mainstream. Like more people are playing D&D. I find that really like odd in a good way. Like it's cool that people are like discovering it for the first time, like myself. But I was like, dude, I can't like fucking leave this planet without playing D&D at one time. And then I was like hooked. I was like, I want to play all the time. Unfortunately, I hadn't gotten to that point. I've only played like 2 games of it. And I guess my third sort of tabletop experience with this. But this is really awesome. I honestly wish I had like outside of this group, I wish I had like, more groups like that I could do that with. If I was a good dungeon master or knew what the fuck I was doing at all, I would definitely set one up with you guys for sure. But yeah, this experience particularly is also good. And to add, Blades in the Dark specifically is really good for people who don't have a lot of experience, because you mentioned something about how if you have a bad dungeon master, you have a bad game. This Blades in the Dark actually is kind of the antithesis of that. Like if it's less hand guided by the dungeon master dude. Like you can have a good or bad one, but he or she does not dictate like that experience as hardcore as like a D&D, a traditional D&D experience, which is neat. Like it feels cool to play something like this, be like very player driven. When you're playing D&D, it feels very much like you're participating in the DM's story, which is cool. Very awesome idea, especially if you have a good storyteller, like you said. But to have this kind of be like free form, I did a complete random, action. My character in this game is a gambler. He has had a lot of problems, and he is partially deformed because of it. But he is a bastard, selfish bastard who has an addiction. His vice being, just gambling shit away. Sometimes his own life, and he's gotten lucky. up to this point. And
I feel like that's me in like another life. That's honestly alternate timeline me where I don't gamble, because like me currently I'll place like soft bets on, like I'll mess around with someone and be like, hey, I bet you $1 that such and such is gonna fuck this up. I'll do that, but like when it comes down to like, you know, Vegas and like all the other stuff, no.
Yeah.
No.
We were in the middle of a heist the other night, or the other session, and we were about to get discovered, and I just, out of complete left field, offered to play a card. I walked into a room, saw some guards playing cards, and I was like, hey, I will play this card game with you and if I win, you get to kill me. If you lose, then I get to fucking loot your shit. And everybody in the session was taken aback and was like, you fucking buffoon, why would you do this? We weren't completely found out yet, but fuck it, I'm a wild card, baby. Like, that's how you play
That's
it.
how you play that role.
It's so good. It's so great. So things like this are really special, provide moments of just laughter, especially today. Like you said, Chris, like, you need it in a COVID world, this hellscape that we live in currently. So it's nice that we have something like this.
I think I'm
really happy.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna put on my, like, you know, things to do list. Like, I gotta get this going.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. And like for people that like love RPGs and like they love RPGs where like choice matters and the choice really matters, like this is literally it. This is the RPG that you want to play. It's just a different format.
Absolutely. I'm down. Please, I want in on that. Absolutely.
Yep. I definitely gotta look at that. But that's cool. That's cool. Changing it up this week.
Changing it up. Yeah. Chris, did you get around to anything this week?
Yes, I played a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Mostly hanging out in alt space on Oculus Quest. Just I think between like just all the things I'm doing, sometimes I'll get home and I'm like, all right, I don't have the I honestly, for the past week and a half, I've been wanting to play through the original Doom, like the original Doom, but the Doom remake that came out in 2006. I've been wanting to play that so that I could, you know, I rented Doom Eternal, and that finally came in. So I just wanted to play through that so I could get to Eternal. I don't have the willpower to actually play through a new game. But at the same time, I don't know. VR is still such a different experience. I don't mind jumping into VR, playing something like what did I play? I played just a little bit of a game called Esquire, which is like Metal Gear Solid in VR. Which is really interesting. I sort of wish I pulled up some gameplay for that, but I only played it for a little bit. But I'll talk more about it next week because I literally launched that like an hour or two ago. So
dude, you have a hell of a game to get through if you go back to Doom 2016. I promise you won't regret it. That is the game I feel like you need right now.
I hope so, because I think with like, and I don't want to like. I guess it's mostly like all the like this bullshit that's going on in the world, all the stuff that I'm just doing in general. I don't know, like when Last of Us came out, everyone was asking me, it's like, yo, are you playing Last of Us? I'm like, I don't think especially with like all of the disappointment that I was hearing, all of the this, that, and the third, I was like, I don't think my soul could take a game like that. But you bring up a good point. I always hear that Doom 2016 is a great game. I'll probably do that after we get off the stream. I might do that.
It was James is right. Boot it up. Like it is the game I played when COVID was like kind of becoming full force, and everything was frustrating. And it is the perfect release. You appreciate power fantasies, Chris. Like you would eat that game up. Absolutely.
That's, you know, I'm gonna do that. You talked me into it. All right, but
mission accomplished, James.
Mission accomplished. But I have I played maybe 2 sessions of this next game. It's called Death Horizon Reloaded. It's on Oculus Quest. It's another zombie shooter on VR, but this is a zombie shooter where you actually get to, like, you know, walk around the environments. You get to like find new weapons. just it's sort of like a power fantasy of a zombie shooter. You're climbing through stuff, like it's like full-fledged like a game. It's not like a
Right.
experience type of thing. Like you're actually playing playing through a full game, which I really appreciate. And like these zombies, like some of them will like slowly walk up to you, but then you have other zombies that'll just make a mad dash towards you. So here I am like at the beginning of the game, like actively like aiming my shots, peeking around corners, and then like after like the second or third room, there's like a ton of zombies just running at me. So that's when I'm pulling out like the 2 pistols. I'm just shooting things, and like it's fun. Like VR, guys.
Yeah.
Like I feel like y'all are missing out. VR is something else, for real.
Yeah, every time, there's been a few nights in the past couple of weeks where like I look at my VR set and I'm like, damn, I should play more VR games. I should download all space.
It's literally, yo, Chris, I booted up my Quest. Where you at?
Yeah,
and I'm serious. I'll be there.
I believe it.
I need to find the right room. I keep bumping into stuff.
I play in my small ass room. Like there's no excuse, my dude. Put the quest in, and what's it called? There's a standing room mode or whatever, and you can go. I literally play in a chair majority of the time.
Huh.
I need to get around.
You say that.
I want to be and flipping. I want to do all that.
And that's all right. So I will say that's a good point with the quest. Like the quest is made to sort of, it's wire free, so you're able to like move around and roll around and do all that. But who got the time for that? I just want to chill. I just want to chill in my chair and like shoot zombies and like hang out with my friends, and like just try it out. Just try it out.
I can't play Beat Saber now.
Okay, so certain games like Beat Saber, like you can't play that, sitting down. You can't play. There's a couple of games that you really like. It's made to like you're supposed to have the space. I understand that,
right.
But
super hot.
Super hot. A lot of these games though, if you can actually like, they give you the option when you boot it up. They're like, all right, are you standing up or are you standing down? You're sitting down. You're sitting down. All right, bet. Here you go. Skills everything for you. So
yeah, I think for this long weekend, I might boot up some Quest games. So keep your phone by you, Chris. I'll hit you up when I do that.
Bet.
I saw that on there now.
What's that?
Trover Saves the Universe.
Huh.
I can't get certain games. I can't get myself to spend $30 on like that unless I hear like it's really worth the $30. I'll wait and like the Quest ever since. I think we all got it. Me and you and James, we got it at the same time. And then like that following weekend, they did a anniversary sale. Bundles. Yeah, and then since then, like they've been actually like committing to doing like daily sales and stuff like that. If you're looking out for it, so that's one of those. That's one of those games that I'll wait until I see like it's knocked off a couple bucks, and then I'll feel better buying it.
Yeah, the store seems to be doing well, like in terms of sales. I get alerts on my phone all the time about different games that are on sale now. We should find something that the three of us can play at the same time.
Arizona Sunshine. What else? There's a couple games.
Yeah, I would.
It's a Rage, but in VR.
I don't remember it off the top of my head, but yeah, like it was literally it's like a Streets of Rage game. About. Yeah, but it's like it's VR, like you're put into the world. It's really fun.
Is it actually? Oh, you played it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to play something with you guys. I have my eye on Sunshine. That looked cool.
It's worth it. Definitely worth it for like the story in itself, and then playing like the zombie horde mode.
Yeah.
Some of the friends I made in VR, like some of them already had it, and then some like we talked them into it. But yeah. we've been knocking out some rounds in zombies, and like I think the first night we played it, we hit a rhythm on one map and like kept going until the point where we're like, yo, I'm tired. Like at one point I was like, yo, zombies, please just kill me. Like I'm done. Like we made it to like wave 40 something. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm finished.
Yeah,
So
I need to play. That's what I need to buy. I will probably do that this week. I will buy Tetris Effect probably because I
oh,
really want to play
yeah.
that.
Did you see? I saw a video of like the world's like best Tetris player playing like just regular Tetris Effect, but then like he's being interviewed, and then like right before the interview's done, he's like, "Hey, this game has VR, right? Can I try out the VR version?" And immediately started playing way better than he played like just statically.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Man. I need to play that game. All I need, Oculus Quest would be the perfect machine. You give me two things. You give me Half-Life Alyx. You give me Res HD. That's all you need. Please.
I tried booting it. Like Half-Life Alyx is on sale for $44 on Steam right now.
Yeah.
Ended up buying it, but then like my graphics card isn't good enough to run the game. For one, it's not good enough to run the game, but then two, it's I don't know, like I'm having issues doing the whole running Steam VR off my Oculus Quest.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know where I'm messing it up, but like it's not working for me right now.
I would take a downgraded version of that game if I could just get it on the Oculus store, just straight up. Just I don't care, downgrade the graphics, baby. Just give it to me.
And they're working on that. They, word is that Oculus are working on loosening up the reins on like the games that are on the store. Because as of right now, Oculus has the final say so on whatever game gets added. So which I feel like is a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because that means that you're not going to be playing a lot of shovelware on it. But then it's a bad thing, meaning that the games that you have to play is super limited. But
yeah, I still feel like. I mean, Chris, you probably experience out of the three of us. Like, I mean, from my cursory glance at the store, it still feels like there's a fair amount of shovelware on there.
Yeah, there is. And it's to the point now where like now with these sales, I'm buying games that I normally wouldn't buy, but I'm like, oh, it's that cheap. It's like, oh, that's like, a meal. Like it's like a fast food meal. I could, come to terms of buying that. So like I'll buy it and I'm like, yo, this is fucking stupid. Why? Chris, you idiot. You told yourself you're not gonna make these mistakes again, and here you are making those mistakes again. So yeah. That's definitely still happening. Yeah. I specifically bought a game today and that happened.
Oh, I feel that way about the climb, except I really want to play the climb. I don't know why though.
I'd want to play it. I'm not gonna buy that thing. Like, I'm gonna climb somewhere. I can't. I'm sorry. It's just, and I feel so dumb because today I bought that hang gliding game, and I really want wait, what was that?
Is it called Rush?
Yeah. I really want a VR game that gives me like the experience of speed, but for a lot of people, they still don't have their VR legs. So it's hard to give the player that when majority of your player base will throw up in their headset if you give it to them. So
do either of you know if there's a good cockpit game in there?
That's what I'm looking for. I bought a game called like End Space or something like that, and it doesn't really do it for me.
Damn it. Okay, that's in my wish list. Shit. All right.
But then again, like I mess around with the controls. Like the way I play is like I have to like I have to actively like tilt the touch controllers. I actually have to like move it around. So maybe if I put it in like the regular default, maybe it might play better. But like it was weird, honestly.
I mean, just invert your controls like all the normal people do.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm done talking about this. I'm good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the news for the week. Got a little bit going on this week, even though it's been a slow news week, and we're gonna get more news. I guess just honestly I feel like next episode we'll have some good stuff to talk about. We're gonna start off with a game called the game that everyone, or the type of game that everyone's wishing for, everyone wants right now. Everyone wants another battle royale, right?
Yep.
Right? Yep. Does that sound good? Battle royale with heavy Twitch integration.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes. So it's a Ubisoft's new game, Hyperscape. We're getting a reveal tomorrow. And if you're listening to this, through audio versions, you've already seen it. So let us know.
It's already happened.
Please let us know. What do you think? Because we have nothing but just screenshots and a huge collective sigh from the community.
Yep.
Yeah. So and I'm the type of person where I love to be proved wrong. So please, Ubisoft, prove me wrong. Tell us that we actually need this game. We're gonna put these next bit of news together. Xbox, we're gonna get there's some rumors that the Lockhart, which is supposed to be like the Series X Lite, is we're gonna get a event either July 20th, July 23rd, and for the most part, people like Phil Spencer saying that he's really excited about this event, especially after watching Sony's.
Yeah, I mean,
so that sigh,
what are you gonna say, right?
That sigh right there. You think that Microsoft would have learned that building they do a thing of where they try to build hype, but they build the wrong type of hype, and then we end up watching it and we're like, "Yo, is this it?" It's mostly people standing in a black room, talking about stuff that no one cares about.
Yeah, and on 240p cameras. Yeah, It's really embarrassing, guys. I mean, honestly, like, I agree with you though, Chris. Like, what Microsoft should do, they should just. I mean, look, marketing people are going to market. I can't really get mad at them trying to hype up their own event. Like, that's fine, whatever. But yeah, that's their job, exactly. What they should do though, definitely just focus on like delivering just the straight up games from the studios that you acquired a few years ago. I think I honestly feel good about this. Like, this is the best I felt about Microsoft in quite a while, because it's such an unknown. They could go in any direction here. And I'm personally very, very excited to not just see Halo Infinite, but I'm also excited to see what the initiative has got going. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about what they've got cooking. And if for people who may not know what that is one of the brand new studios built from the ground up by Microsoft, who has key creatives from the Tomb Raider franchise, Uncharted, and God of War, the new God of War 2018. So, like, that's a hell of a lineup. I'm really excited. I fucking hope it is not a shooter. Like, please fucking don't make it a shooter. Make it anything but a shooter, and I'll be happy.
Don't say that.
It's a battle royale. Battle royale.
God.
300 players.
Man.
Yeah.
James. I was like, James. So, quick question. When was the last time you've been to a Microsoft store?
What year is it?
2020.
All right. Never.
Oh, well, too bad. Too late, because it looks like Microsoft, they're closing down, if not all their retail stores. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Now I can't go buy that Windows phone.
Yep, missed the boat on that. You missed you can't buy your Windows phone, and you can't get like exclusive stuff from Mixer by going there, because these don't exist anymore.
Rough week of you like work at Microsoft, huh?
Even worse, or not even worse, but good for this person. Head of Xbox Live leaves after 15 years. Good on you, man. I don't know if it's a retirement. I don't know if they're.
It's not a retirement. He's going somewhere else to like another game thing. Yeah.
Oh man.
No.
It's an interesting. I don't know. It's really interesting. Where you like? Let's take predictions. Where are you thinking this guy is going? Like, after leaving, being at Xbox Live for 15 years, especially right before a new console launch, this offer had to have been pretty good.
He needs to go straight to Nintendo. Fix it, please.
Yeah. That's a good scenario. That's a dream scenario. I mean, who knows where this guy can place at a rival manufacturer, or he could just be like a consultant at some company we don't know about. The games industry is very large. It's more than just like the studios that we see in the manufacturers. So it could be anywhere. But yeah, would I like to see them at Nintendo? Yeah, improve that shit, please. But who knows, really? Yeah, I don't know. I would say that I don't hesitate to put too much stock in this, just because the same thing happened with Sean Layden. He left like a year ago at this point. Reggie left another like a year or two ago. like kind of in the Switch's second year, I want to say. So I mean, it could mean something. It could mean nothing. We just don't know at this point.
Maybe he's just tired of like all the crazy controversies going on in the gaming industry.
Yeah. Xbox Live has been quiet this year. I feel like it was a bastion of that console, like Xbox or the first gen, and then like for 360. But it's been relatively quiet outside of Game Pass, of course, for them.
Yeah, so I think we'll hear a lot of quote unquote hype from Microsoft leading up to this July 20th to 23rd event. So just stay tuned. We'll see what's gonna happen. Just don't get too excited, please. We've learned our lesson a month ago. Let's not do it again. Next up is a couple of game updates. Avatar: Last Airbender and Korra from Legend of Korra. So are these skins that are coming to Smite, or are they like new characters or like promotional characters?
Those skins.
Okay. I don't care anymore then. Never mind. But if you happen to still play Smite, here it is. We were talking about this before the show. I feel like all this Avatar stuff that we've seen over like the last like month or so, I honestly feel like we would have like had more information about the Netflix series. I think they were like really trying to hype that up, but COVID happened and they had to stop production.
Yeah, that's probably true. Everything's shut down right now. Well, productions are just starting to ramp up like in other countries. I don't know where they were filming the Avatar series, if it was like in the States or not. But considering things are getting worse here, I can't imagine anything starting.
Yeah, it's not happening here.
If you only knew.
All right, so another game update: Call of Duty Warzone's adding 200-player matches. So if your hard drive still has space for Call of Duty Warzone, you'll be able to update that bad boy and enjoy your 200-player matches. Quick poll: who's still playing Warzone out of us? Anybody?
I am actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
like every now and then I'll. Yeah, I honestly I think James, I would like to play with you, Chris. I think I did play with you, maybe. Like that would be like it's fun. Like it's a fun experience. I think the file sizes are fucking stupid. Activision, fuck you. Like that's really not good. Like I don't know why they're putting out 30 gig updates. That's ridiculous. But the game is still like it's solid. But I mean, it's also battle royale. You get what you get. I think I talked about it a few weeks ago. It's a really great social, relaxed game. It's kind of like what Destiny was to me a few years back. So yeah, it's cool.
Dang, it's a Destiny, and I get a single tear rolled down my cheek. There's a rumor that we're getting the rumor of that Harry Potter game that we've talked about last year. Turns out that it's actually in development, and the good news is that J.K. Rowling has very little to no influence on this game, so that's a plus.
Wait, what? I thought she made the franchise, Chris.
It's good.
Why would you not want to?
She could stay in whatever crazy castle that she's in right now.
Yeah,
Hogwarts.
Yes. exactly. Yeah, she's wilding right now on Twitter. So
yeah,
well,
okay. Oh, go ahead, James.
So, like, what do you guys even want from a Harry Potter game?
The full experience, like the whole create your character. I don't see this being like the whole 4 years thing. Maybe they'll probably do a year at a time. I'd love to play through the whole 4 year. But what was it? 4 is more than 4 years, right?
Yeah, it's like
7, 6
or 7.
Yeah,
6 or 7, something like
6
that.
or 7. I'd love to live through all those years. But I doubt it. I just want the school experience, like going to classes, learning spells, choose, like having the house choose a house for you, or you choose a house, whatever. I want all that.
Yeah. See, I would rather it be like that, just be a part of the game, just like an act. You go through your wizard training, and then you kind of go out into the world. And then you can do like a from there.
You know what I want? I want Bully, but in Hogwarts.
I'm okay with that.
I feel like they would probably make it that way. Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird. Like I feel a little bit icky about like wanting to play a Harry Potter game with, because we know, okay, like you said, J.K. Rowling might have like little direct involvement, but she's probably gonna get royalties or some check being cut from this because it's like franchise. So it's like, I don't know. I feel weird about that. But like if what I would have liked to have seen from this game, and I guess we'll just all have to wait and see. Well, it's supposed to be open world, right? Something like that. I think everybody wants Quidditch. That would be cool. You know, some interesting combat system. I would want real time, something like that. But yeah, again, I'm like super conflicted about that, about this whole enterprise. I guess we'll have to just see how they play it, and if we get more information on like how it was doled out. But yeah, 2020 is fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so another game update, Dreams. The create your own game made by the makers of Little Big Planet on PS4. They are adding they're adding VR support mid-July. So dust off those PlayStation VR, and you're able to. You know what's really cool about this is that you're gonna be able to actually create like your own like quote unquote VR game in this.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So
yeah, it's insane what you can do in that with that engine basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's you guys know how much I love VR. Is that enough to get me to pick up a PlayStation VR again? I don't know. It's really tempting. It's really tempting. It depends on how good the community gets with creating stuff.
Yeah, wait on it.
And how well everything runs.
I feel like that's something that they would just lean on going into the PS5. And that would be a killer app for when VR2 drops.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's that. Let's see what else we got. I lost my page. Here we go. Okay, and last thing we're gonna talk about, because do you guys want to talk about the whole Dr. Disrespect stuff? I completely forgot to ask you guys that earlier. Is that a thing? Are we giving that time of light? Do we care? I mean, it's more or less like there's not enough information out there to really talk about it.
We kind of know. We knew already that he's an unsavory character, and like we knew. But I don't think we actually know the reason behind this particular ban. But it's not the first time he's done something super shitty. So I'm definitely comfortable going on the record and saying like, probably not a great guy. And so yeah, whatever the reason actually is, like it's a little strange to me that Twitch would not tell you like what happened. Like that to me, this just seems like damage control, like kind of getting out of the storm, and kind of saying after the course of days, going like, yeah, they still haven't told me. You've been banned for like what 2 or 3 days or something, and you still don't know. I don't know about that. So yeah.
I think it's definitely be something that once like word makes rounds, especially on Twitter, like we'll know within like we'll know what it is when that news drops. But yeah, guys, just
not someone that we follow, right? Like you guys don't follow his content at all.
No, only time I really like the first time I ever heard of him was from the award show, the Game Awards, from like 2 years ago. And I was like, he won the award, and I was like, "Yo, who is this clown?" But and since then, I was like, "Wow, like this guy he really plays the whole character of like I'm not like you." He plays an unlikable character really well, so I guess people like that type of thing. I don't know.
I guess I'm really glad that you said that, just because like it's something that I've never quite understood with big streamer personality. I don't understand streamer personality in general, but like that particular one, the one of the heel, as I think they say in wrestling or something, like that is like that's something I don't get, and it's like just playing that up. So I mean, I guess maybe I do get the appeal because some people are just shitheads and they just want to have like, they want to, and I don't mean like the streamers, well, in this case,
I mean,
but like generally, I mean like the people who follow those types of folks, like, they want to have like an avatar maybe who is like represents them. And I don't know, I always find it distasteful because you can always like find clips of these people saying like really gross shit. And I've just never had the desire to follow any of that stuff. I feel like more often than not, a lot of the top streamers are doing things like that, and it makes me just not want to engage with any part of that community. I know I'm speaking for myself on that, but
no, it's honestly a lifestyle that, and especially now, like these things are starting to come back and bite these people in the ass. Like, just the type of rock star lifestyles that they were trying to live, just some shit just doesn't rock. So like, the whole bathroom situation with Dr. Disrespect and like these rumors of like him, and another person, like just this whole sexual assault thing, just like it's like I don't it's bad. I want to say it's on brand. Is that the right thing to say?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that's the right thing to say, but
I don't know. So we'll like we said, when this like the official word drops, of course we'll talk about it. But Rod, you sort of said it on the head. Like a lot of these, these personalities, like Karma's a bitch. She'll come after you. She will sit there in silence and like let you reap the glory. But when you least expect it, she's pulling the rug out from under you. And that's what's happening right now to Dr. Disrespect. After I think he just like a couple months ago signed a deal with Twitch. So multi-million-dollar deal, and he thought he was untouchable. You're not.
Contracts can't save you.
Yeah. All right, so enough of that. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the PlayStation indies. I chose a couple that sort of like stood out to me. And of course, like James, Rod, if any of them, anything else that stuck out to you, if I don't pick it, just let me know. But the first one that stuck out to me was Fist, Forged in the Shadow Torch, which it, just off rip sort of looks like a hold on, let me fast forward a little bit. I don't know, like the art design was like really weird. It's like, you're playing as like a bunch of animals and it's like a side scroller. Mm-hmm. So getting like halfway through the trailer, I noticed that the game actually looks really good, looks really smooth. It's a side scrolling platformer, and like I feel like this is what Mega Man should have evolved into, or Mega Man Zero should have evolved into. Like this genre should have kept going, and we should have gotten more games like this. But we didn't. We got Fortnite. So yeah, it's definitely a game that looks cool. Definitely, most likely when it drops, I'll probably play it. I'm not even say probably. I'm probably gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. Looks cool. Did you guys have a chance to check it out?
Yes, I checked out a bunch of this stuff. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, almost all of these look like something that I would play, with the exception of maybe like one or two that I wasn't super hype about. But I would at least try all. Like, there's something unique about the most of them. And one of the things I mentioned, kind of in our like amongst you guys earlier, like this reminds me of the Summer of Arcade days, where Microsoft picked out like a bunch of titles that were very different from each other. And just to kind of showcase, like, hey, indie games are games too. Don't forget about us. And Sony seems to be doing the same thing here, or something similar, where they're picking out things that are not alike, to any of the other 9 games, which is really, really neat. So you mentioned the Fist game, which again, you've described it perfectly. Like, I think exactly how you talked about that game is exactly what it looks like. It's cool ass side scroller. Perhaps Mega Man inspired, looks awesome. That Marquette game, I think it's called, looks super sweet. Heavenly Bodies, also very into it, like a space physics game, a puzzle game. That's totally up my alley. Yeah, a lot of these looked cool. James, you saw this, and what games did you have your eye on?
Recompile definitely caught my eye just visually. I'm really curious to see how that game goes. I like this whole 3D platform action kind of genre. Always works for me.
Hey James, we're getting the sound from your computer.
Are you?
Yeah.
You get it now?
Nah, we're good.
Okay. But yeah, Recompile's visuals look really stunning. I like the 3D platformers. That thing always works for me. Haven looked interesting too.
Yeah.
That co-op game.
Yep.
And I'm trying to figure out how that combat looks, but it seems like it's very bounce off of one another. So curious to see how that too.
Yeah. Creeks looks neat too. That was another puzzle game. They had quite a few puzzle games, which I love. And the thing that struck me about that one, there's like a really unsettling like atmosphere with that game, particularly where it's like, you know, the description is like, oh, the objects are what they seem, and it's like the objects that you're actually playing around in and with might be like actual creatures unto themselves, like nightmarish things, and it just looked really, really creepy and cool. And I thought that visual style was cool.
Yeah, I was gonna shout out Haven. I played that when Steam had like their, you know, like the demo. It was like a week of like where you're able to play a bunch of indies that are coming out. And yeah, like it looks exactly what it plays like. The art style looks like Gravity Rush, which is sort of what pulled me in. And
Ooh.
yeah, and like so you're playing as like this couple who they're sort of marooned on, or they're on the run from. I didn't play far enough into the demo to find out what, or even on the run from, I guess, some sort of company or whatever. And like, you know, you're getting like the moment to moment of like them going out on the little island or the world that they're on to get like food and like go back to the little place and cook it. And like the banter between the two is like a banter between like an actual couple of like, at the beginning of the demo, they only had like one specific food to eat, but the guy, he knows how to cook. So, you know, one day they would have roasted apple. Next day they would have, you know, caramel apple. The next day then they will have fried apple. Just like you kept reusing the stuff. So I thought that it was really funny. It was pretty cool just seeing them go back and forth talking about the food. And like just the, you know, the mechanics of like just gliding around on that island was pretty cool. So after seeing, you know, this trailer, seeing more of the gameplay, it looks really interesting.
Yeah. Bunch of the stuff looks so good.
Yeah, so
I love seeing stuff like this. I love when indies get highlighted like this.
I was gonna say, like, if you know, if this is the first time you've listened to us, or you know, if you listened to us before, you should know that we on the show, we love you know, shouting out indie titles. These are titles that a lot of people, honestly, you overlook until, you know, big sites like IGN or like, you know, they just get really blown up. But like, you know, these games are out here. Like, these are the, you know, if you grew up playing video games, like a lot of these games are games that you would have played back on the PS2 or whatever. It has like that, to me, it has like that same essence, that sort of but polished. But like, yeah, it sort of has like that essence, but like, and it's the essence of the games that we've lost over the past couple of years or past decade, if anything.
Right.
So yeah, some of the best games you find across the generation come out of the indies.
Yeah,
really. So look through those. They're cheaper. They're usually better. Not a bad deal.
Looking at you, Undertale, game of the generation. All right, so we're gonna wrap up episode 71 with our topic of the evening. It's finally July. We made it to the 7th level of Jumanji, and we're gonna take some time to look past. We're gonna look at, like, you know, the good and the bad of 2020, just gaming wise. So we're gonna start off You guys want to start off with the bad or start off and or end up? Yeah, we'll start bad and then finish off with the positive. Let's do that. Let's change it up. Let's change it up. I'll start off my top 3 disappointments for 2020. And with this, like, we always extend these questions on to you if you're listening, live. If you're listening on whatever platform, hit us up on social media. Should I play that? And let us know what's your top 3 disappointments or top 3 moments gaming wise for 2020. So for me, starting it off, like off rip, worst moments is definitely Call of Duty, the hard drive space. Activision, got to do better. Got to do better. We haven't heard of, they're talking about what the next Call of Duty is, which is supposed to be, I think, a World War II or a Cold War, some sort of like iteration of that. It's interesting that this is the latest that we've gone without seeing the new Call of Duty. Usually by now we would have seen some form of trailer, but we haven't yet. So just be on the lookout for that. I feel like that's coming soon. But going back to Warzone, fuck you. My hard drive also says fuck you. We're not having it anymore. We deleted you long ago. Who wants my copy of Modern Warfare? I don't want it anymore because it was 120, 150 gigs.
It's 180 actually.
100, oh my fuck! I was playing 180 gigs. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but then it also worries me about what we're gonna get next gen. So optimize hard drive space, please. That's one. My second, most disliked moment 2020. This new console hype. This is it's a weird time. I think it's a mixture of COVID, like fucking up everyone's plans, but then also like the false hype that we've been getting, also mixed in with console fanboys rising from the grave again and like starting this pointless war. Listen, dude, you're 30 to 40 years old. Why does it matter what system you have? Seriously, like shut up. It doesn't matter. Just pick your box, play with your friends, or the way you're arguing, you may not have friends. Just pick your system and have fun with it. And my last dislike moment is honestly, and this is like just a whole industry, the sexual assault and all these allegations. Guys, no means no. Stop touching people when they don't want to be touched. Like what I want to say it's 2020, but honestly, that doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. I feel like, we keep saying that, this, that, and the third is bad. We have to now, like, and you're seeing it now. You're seeing people like, Dr. Disrespect being banned. You're seeing a bunch of people on Twitch being banned. These are the right steps, but I also feel like we need to do more. We need to maybe have workshops on like we have to like really educate people, it seems like, to why it's bad to be doing what you're doing. Like, I don't know what we need, but it's something that has to be taught. I don't know if it's too late for this current generation. I hope it's not. But for the rising generation, for the youth, for these up and coming streamers, let what's happening now be your lesson. And I feel like for, us adults, we have to start laying standards on like ways to stop this type of stuff or ways to not promote things that lead to this. So that in itself is a whole conversation. I'm sick of it. 2020 sucks. James, what you got?
All right. Nothing nearly that disappointing.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Top 3 disappointments in gaming. Let's start with one. Google Stadia.
Oh, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off, Chris. I'm sorry.
Damn. Got me.
I mean, is it a disappointment though? Like if you just kind of expected nothing?
Oh, that's a good point. Is it a disappointment if you weren't expecting anything? Hmm?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Okay. Yes.
Hmm?
Because it delivered on nothing. How do you do that? I don't understand.
It's funny. I got charged. I got charged for Stadia the other day, and I was low key pissed. But
Chris, what are you paying for?
I'm still hoping it's gonna get better.
Stadia,
Please sponsor me. Like I believe in you guys. Something. Send me.
What are you talking?
Send me a T-shirt or a sticker for all my pains.
Would you really rep that garbage?
I'd rep that on the show. Send someone at me. Clip this. Google Stadia. Send me a T-shirt. You can either send me a 2XL or I'll squeeze in an extra large. I'll wear this for a month straight. Try me.
All right, number 2, Chris Rank. Jeez, really? No, but seriously, number 2 is the number of remakes that have and like remasters that have come out this year. Like I was going through my list of favorites, and everything is a re-release this year, with like the exception of a few things. Because like anywhere you look, there's a remaster collection here, or a spin-off of this here, DX version of that, special edition here. Like, how many times can we play Kingdom Hearts? How many times? It just needs to stop. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is the influx of battle royales. Every game does not need to be a battle royale. Ubisoft, stop, please. Make something else. Create games, guys.
I've got some bad news for you on Thursday.
Huh. But yeah, that's mine. Nothing as big as sexual assault. That's pretty disappointing too. But you know.
Yeah. I mean, James is absolutely right. There's nothing. I feel like. So yeah, I've got 3 things as well. 2 of them are actually going to be the same as Chris, so I won't spend a lot of time on them. And I'm mentioning them first not because I find them more or less important than the third thing, but just because again, Chris has nailed the he's hit the nail on the head, and so did James. Sexual assault, Black Lives Matter. A lot of people I'm seeing not really understanding the significance of either of those things. In equal measure, and it's very fucking frustrating. Do better, everyone. Fucking do better. And the other thing was console wars. I think Chris, you hit that on the head as well. I'm seeing a little, not as much as I was expecting at this point, but I think a lot of that is due to still not knowing everything about the consoles. Like I think we know more, a little bit more now than we did, at the beginning of the year at the top. And obviously with COVID and other more important shit happening than video games, people's attention have been diverted for the most part. So it's not been as ferocious as it's been in the past. But I'm seeing it crop up a little bit. It's fucking video games, guys. Just play video games. It doesn't fucking matter what platform. Play something. The other thing that neither of you mentioned that I will expand a little bit more is I am seeing a lot of, and maybe this kind of goes to the first thing, but I'm seeing a lot of really shitty discourse around The Last of Us 2. And I don't mean that in the case of like, people don't like the game or they love the game or whatever. But I mean that in the sense of The Last of Us 2 being at least in my mind, like a fairly progressive game in a lot of ways. And some of which I can't get into without spoiling, but they represent a lot of different facets of life, philosophy that I find fascinating, and I find interesting, despite how I feel about the game as a whole, whether that's like good or bad. Like I think it's important that we have media, art telling a story, a particular story, in a particular way. And the fact that it presents itself as a matter-of-fact kind of fashion really pisses certain groups off. And honestly, fuck those groups. Like they can stay mad. And I hope that more things continue to be put out into the universe like this. But it is all the same. It is frustrating that I continually see it. And I think it also seeps into not just about representation, but also how people are having the discussion. There was a piece in Polygon today, actually, that came out about how Last of Us 2 is really difficult to talk about as a critical publication. Obviously, that's not what we are, but we see it a lot. There are a lot of people that I follow, through social media and other avenues, where they voiced a maybe less than glowing opinion about Last of Us 2, like valid criticism. And Sony reached out to, for example, Vice. Rob Zachney, he wrote what I thought to be a fantastic review of Last of Us 2, where he was fairly critical of the game. And it was unscored, by the way. There was no score attached to it. But he wrote like a pretty, I would say, generally unfavorable review of it. And Sony PR reached out to him. Now, not Naughty Dog explicitly, but Sony PR did. And I find that to be, interesting. I also find the discourse between Jason Schreier and Neil Druckmann and Cory Barlog, like those guys kind of going back and forth with each other like a few weeks ago, and Troy Baker got into that like a few days ago for some reason. Like them kind of going at each other is just like, fucking, what are we doing? Like, it just, so a lot of this game has caused, we can talk about that maybe another day as well, but like a lot of that discourse has been really frustrating to witness, because people should be better in a lot of ways. So yeah, the fans, the creators, critics, like everyone is just in this like, it's funny, the game about hate is breeding hate. What a fucking thunk.
What would have thought?
So yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it's an interesting product, because again, like, I do think it's important that it is showing. It does a lot of things well. Last of Us 2, I think, does a lot of things well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way that people have kind of taken to it, and sent death threats to people at Naughty Dog and voice actors, like, really? Fuck yes, like absolutely. People are like threatening. Laura Bailey is a big like target right now. Neil Druckmann, also a big target, but like these people are on podcasts like giving interviews about the game and fucking crying because of the hate they're receiving. And it's wild. So yeah, very disappointed for the first half of this year about that. Yeah, and that rounds out my list.
Jesus Christ. I'm changing my answer to whatever that is.
I was gonna say it's bad because like I try to keep up with my family every now and then through like FaceTime calls, and I had like just randomly both my sister and my cousin asked me, "Hey, have you played The Last of Us yet?" Because I'm hearing some stuff about it. I'm hearing how people are hating about the Ellie and like other things. I'm like, yo. It's crazy that like, because they're not really big gamers, but it's crazy that it's now seeping into like the mainstream, or like just random people are hearing about like the bullshit that is happening in the industry. Guys, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
We've come so far.
Yeah,
don't do this.
Yeah.
So
like, if you don't like the game, just don't play the game.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
They're fictional characters. Please, I can't believe I have to say this, but don't fucking assault or like don't fucking go after the actors.
The actors.
Like, what are you doing with your life? Come on, man.
If anything, good on the actors. They really sold it, obviously.
Right. They did a fantastic job. Meanwhile, you're fucking typing away at a keyboard frantically, pissed off at something that's not even real. So who's the real loser in that scenario?
Oof.
Like,
yeah, burn.
Yeah.
All right. So let's flip the script, and we'll have you start off with this. What are your top gaming moments 2020?
Top gaming moments. So I would say that one of them is definitely, can they be okay, just gaming moments, right? Like it can be anything, not just specifically games that were released in 2020. Yeah. Definitely one of my top gaming moments. It's funny, we talked about was playing Doom 2016 earlier this year when I played it. Absolutely. I'm not playing this just to get you. I'm not saying this just to get you to play it, Chris.
And
I swear I'm not. But like, this game is fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. Like, and not only is it good, but when I played it at the time when COVID was kind of at its height, I was frustrated. There was a lot of personal shit going on. Like, there was a lot of things happening. And I played that game at just the right moment where I needed to just punch a demon spawn from hell in the face multiple times. Like, it was fantastic. No other game delivers that. Doom 2016 really did that. I would also say top gaming moment for me was polishing off the Yakuza franchise with 6. Definitely a top moment. That was a journey, gentlemen. A journey that I took 2 years, turns out. But
as I say,
did it.
We've been podcasting majority of that, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We absolutely have. I think I started Kiwami 1. I was like midway through when we first started this back again. So, man, yeah, it's been a journey, and it's been so much fun. Leaving Kiryu at the end is very sad, but also very satisfying. I love where that franchise ended up. We had some laughs. We had some no tears, but maybe close a couple times. Like, it was good. Solid franchise. And I would say for a third moment, it's tough, but I would probably say I have to put playing Animal Crossing's New Horizons like every day has been pretty good, especially considering everything that's happened. It's a fantastic game. It's just, admittedly, I've been kind of like slacking for the last like week or two, but like I've been playing that thing every day up to then, since release. So that's pretty impressive. Like, to be able to just hop in for like an hour or so every day. It's just cool seeing like your little villagers hanging out, waking up, blast. His ass is sleeping all day. Like, it's great. Like, I'm missing one goddamn fossil. But other than that, like, it's really good and satisfying. Other than me frantically searching for fossils, it's great. So, nice. 2020 has been a pretty solid. Before we started this, I was like, man, I don't know. I can't name like 3 games from this fucking year that I played. But like, when I think about it, I have spent a lot of this year gaming, partially due to COVID, but COVID-19. But I've had a lot of fun. I've had a ton of fun playing video games, and here's to the other half of 20.
All right, good stuff. James, what you got?
All right. Well, first, honorable mention is also going to Doom 2016 because I also got through it this year, and yeah, Roddy's exclamations are on point. Like, he's not underselling this game. I thought it was overhyped personally, and I've seen people play the game, but once you get that feel, fantastic. But speaking on the things that weren't overhyped, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, finally, I get to see what the hype is about, and it delivered. So that's definitely a top moment for me this year. I'm gonna flip the script. COVID-19. Thank you. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have had all this time to sit down and play these games. I got the podcast out of it. I'm just saying. Just sit back and focus and like kind of take all this, and it's nice. So I'm taking the positives. Made everybody sit down, made everybody chill. It's been good for me. It's a terrible situation, but I'm making the best of it. And what's number 3? More Smash Bros. Always a good time. More Smash Bros.
Smash Bros.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take that one. That's my 3rd. Shout out to Min Min and Banjo and Joker, and like I can say that now.
Yeah,
it's just such a crazy thing that exists, and I love it. So yeah, it's from my top 3.
all right. Um,
Chris, your face is like you can't just not like. Can we just gif that? Like, just please tweet it out.
somebody clip that. Somebody clip
Yeah.
it.
The whole thing.
All right, so I'll wrap this up. Top gaming moments for me, 2020. Definitely. I mean, it was on your bottom, but for me, Final Fantasy 7 remake. It just, granted, it wasn't like the full-fledged Final Fantasy 7 that we wanted, but it did something, and it introduced something where like they're going to do something different with the franchise. So I'm happy that this remake isn't like a complete 100% remake, but it's
Mhm.
it's different. Like we're gonna get something different out of this. So that the gameplay was really smooth. I love how lived in the world felt. Like they really could have like taken the easy route and like you know not have like these environments feel so lived in, but they did a good job. Like I liked how like walking through environments, you hear conversations of like just the NPCs, and it just feels like you're living in that world. um just had a good time. All in all, I think I had like a great time playing through that game. um Next up, you guys hear me talk about this literally every week since I've gotten it, but the Oculus Quest. Guys,
Mhm.
if you haven't gotten into VR yet, please jump into it. It's, unfortunately, Oculus, they just sunsetted the Go, which even then, if you're trying to get into the Quest, the Go wasn't the way to route. Like that wasn't a route to go. So what I did there. Definitely get the Quest if you have the money. Put some money into like the other headsets that are out there, but the Quest is a good way to go. If you have PlayStation VR is really good. It's really solid. Just I have a new circle of friends. Shout out to all of them. That I on like a at this point almost feels like a daily basis that if we don't see each other in alt space, we're messaging each other on social media. So shout out to them. Shout out to this, that's like the support I get from them. 'Cause I'm the type of person where like the positive reinforcement will boost my day. So like having them say, "Yo, I just listened to this podcast that you posted, or a show that you've been on, and this, that, and the third was funny. I really like how you did that." Like all that stuff. Like how in Dragon Ball Z, Goku's asking for energy, and like people raise their hand, they give him energy. But then there was that one time that Earth was like, "Nah, screw this guy. I don't know him." But then Hercule was like, "Nah, go ahead and give him the energy." And like everyone lifted up. That moment, like the Kid Buu Spirit Bomb, that's what I get whenever people hype me up. Gas me up. That's all I ask. Just gas me up every now and then. But shout out to them. They gas me up, and I really appreciate it. Y'all do too. I'm not gonna forget about y'all. Y'all gas me up all the time.
Aw.
James, Rod, every week, like doing this show, which leads me into my third positive gaming moment of 2020. It's you guys.
Wow. Oh my god.
You guys are like, yeah, it with COVID, with depression, like all this stuff could have been like the end of me personally in 2020, but I was able to, like, sort of like what you said, James, use this as a positive situation, play more video games, up the production on Should I Play That, start a second fucking podcast, which I would have never thought I would have done again, start doing that. And this is a quick teaser, but maybe even pre-production for a third show. Who knows? Let's see.
Oh.
But
Those.
third and fourth, I'm really feeling myself. But yeah, like just everything that's going on here, like it boosts me. It like I feel like this is what I want to do. I want to do more with it. I love reaching out here from you guys. It just it gives me a reason to do what I do. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a really great way to solidify like how I feel as well about like this show has definitely helped through this time, specifically COVID, Black Lives Matter. That's still like going to be a classic episode to me, in terms of just like we set everything aside to do that. And I think that's really special. And having a consistency in the schedule when everything is so inconsistent, so unknown. Everything feels like it could just be fucking upended in a short amount of time, which it pretty much was for a lot of people. People fucking died over this shit. Like it's crazy, and it's only getting worse. But like, this is a nice constant to have, and I definitely appreciate it as well.
And quick side note, I somewhat lied. I forgot. I overlooked my real number one, which I feel bad ruining that moment. But at the same time, this is really special. You should already know what's coming. If you're part of this Discord, you should already know where I'm going with this. Sonic Forces being in the top 5 downloaded on PSN.
Just shut it all down.
Boys, we're here.
Everything back I said.
We are here. This is it. This is it right here. Top 5. We beat out all these other games that were on PSN.
They outdid Rocket League.
We are here. I don't want you talking about my son ever again. We did it. This is it.
Sonic
wrap up
live stream.
Wrap up the show. That's it. It's been. Wait, hold on. I gotta find the right song to get us out in. But while I'm doing that, guys, let's do the shout outs. Rod, what you got for us?
Last week I mentioned I was on a podcast called All My Curls, which I recorded that episode. It will be going up on this coming Tuesday. So you'll want to check that out on Apple Music Apple Podcasts? Podcasts, and then Spotify, Cloud, I think. So it is very, very good. It's a lifestyle podcast where we talk about expectations, society's version of them, and how that's kind of shaped us as people. We don't talk a lot about personal stuff here on the show, like a lot of times, but if you want to hear some personal shit about me, well, it gets a little real.
All right. I'd love to hear. James, what you got?
Shout out to all y'all listening. Shout out to everybody that came through the Twitch today. We should appreciate all y'all. Make sure you like, comment on all the podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Helps us out a lot with the algorithm. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your family, tell your dog. Let them all know.
Yes.
Especially tell your enemies.
If you hate our show, tell your enemies.
Yeah. Maybe they'll love us. Ooh, who knows?
Maybe they'll listen to one of our recommendations and hate the game that we recommend, and then they'll spend their money, and then you get a nice chuckle out of it. I don't know. What you would do?
But y'all drink more water. Like we always say, drink more water, play more video games, guys. You always have to give you a nugget. And I sort of said it earlier in the show. Listen, you will make time to do what you really want to do. So if you really say you want to do something, just fucking do it. That's literally like, that's getting over that like hump of doing something, of like just starting it. You're halfway there at that point. Just start it and keep going. Every time you feel like you need to stop, depends on what it is, because that sounds like it's really toxic. Hold on. If it's a good thing, and it's healthy, please, like, just do it. Nike, just do it. But with that,
if you are gonna just do it, try a small burst at first, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just kind of go from there.
Yep.
A little's better than nothing.
So with that, we are out for another week. We will catch you next week. Peace out. Stay beastly.